Hello and welcome to DappRadar's Off the Blockchain. So what do we have here, guys? We have episode 5 of the podcast where we talk about the most interesting stories from the world of Web3. You have me, I'm your host, Charlie Butler. You have the esteemed Robert Hogendorn. And last but not least, you have the legendary Ian Kane. So if you're listening, you're already winning because you've got us three.
Yeah.
Nice. But wait. There's more. We'll be having a chat about the recent Axie Infinity land staking announcement and its impact on land prices. We have more news from the other side, Yuga Labs' dark and mysterious new virtual world that sent gas fees sky high. And we'll be talking DeFi, specifically Crypto.com's recent rate changes and new movers who are coming in to fill the void. We've also got another game of thumbs up or thumbs down lined up for you. And of course, we'll be answering more of your questions at the end of the show. So make sure you stay tuned for those. And if you have any questions or queries for us, put them in the comments below. Find us on DappRadar on Twitter, get in contact that way, or just find one of us three on Twitter and send us a tweet and we'll be happy to answer your questions. But before the heavy stuff begins, how are you two this week? Ian, how's it going? How's your week been?
Really good, and made all the better yesterday by watching a certain team lose a certain football match. So I'm in a really good mood today.
In the last minute.
Yeah, that made it all the better. I'm still smiling about it, and it's been like 12 hours. So yeah,
nice. Rob, what's happening over in Antalya?
Yeah, my team is playing tonight.
And your team is for the listeners?
Feyenoord Rotterdam.
That's nice.
Yeah, exciting times. Even though I'm not smiling and not sitting nervous on my chair. In the NFT world, I did something cool. I bought a NFT World's Genesis avatar.
Ooh,
which
nice.
Frankly, it's a Minecraft avatar, but tailored for NFT Worlds, and there's the promise of infinite rewards and wisdom and richness. No, but it's I like NFT Worlds. They're really pioneering, doing cool stuff. I got the land super cheap. Bought it from the floor back in October for like 0.3 ETH. So I was like, okay, I can do this as well.
So can you walk your avatar around your piece of land then?
Yeah, presumably. Nice. I honestly don't even know.
Yeah.
you just I maybe it. But it's a Minecraft character, so I assume you can.
Yeah, presumably, and you can visit the other worlds as well. All right, excellent stuff. Right, let's go with a game of thumbs up or thumbs down, everyone. And the first one I'm going to bring to you is, everyone's been talking about this for the last couple of days, or since it happened. Elon Musk used a Bored Apes collage as his Twitter profile with a quote, "I don't know, seems kind of fungible." Now, some people are seeing this as a diss at NFTs, but others see it as Elon just stirring the pot again. So, thumbs up or thumbs down on Elon Musk?
Yeah, I also go down.
What's he doing? Taking the piss, do you think? What's he doing?
Absolutely. He's trolling. He's trolling. Like he also critiqued Twitter's integration of NFTs in the past.
Yeah.
So to some extent, I wouldn't be surprised if he turns that back. But we'll see. We'll see about
that. He's a PR monster. He's a PR monster. He's really good at it. And if you don't, you've got to look at it like that. Like it's
do not take him seriously, basically, is what you're saying.
If you had a dinner with him, or if you've ever watched interviews with him, he's not really like that. So it's interesting. But definite thumbs down, man.
He's funnier on Twitter than in real life. Yeah,
I would say so. He looks fairly static in real life, but Elon's growing on me. But I think those kind of moves, let's be real, they're just dick moves, right?
Yeah. It's all right. So we've got 2 thumbs down there. So I'm surprised. I thought you might find it funny, but right. Next one up. Gucci will start accepting cryptocurrency as in-store payments. There are currently 12 currencies included, and we've got the obvious ones: Bitcoin, ETH, and there's also Dogecoin and Shiba Inu, which I find a bit weird because they seem to go up and down. And then they got 5 stable coins as well and a couple of others. So thumbs up or thumbs down on Gucci accepting cryptocurrencies.
Which service are they using? Do you know that? Because
I
they're using a payment provider. I mean, there's no other way. So which one?
Yeah, no, I don't know. I didn't read that far into it. I just saw the headline and read the sort of like the sub headline. They're trialing it in some certain stores and they're training up their staff on how to use it. Yeah, we'll talk. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what payment platform they're using.
Interesting that they're going to accept like Bitcoin and other crypto rather than only stable coins. So like you could buy a jacket on Tuesday for 100 grand that could be worth 300 grand. Well, for the shop anyway, not for the customer.
Yeah. I guess it's off the back of like the Super Gucci thing, and they're quite into the NFT space already. So
those meme coins.
Quite a big.
Well, I would say is more about.
I can't believe they're using Shiba Inu and Doge.
It's holders, mate. Like imagine how many holders there are of those tokens. Both of them. It's marketing and reach, right?
Yeah, but what's in it for Gucci to maybe like lose half the value of their tokens in a day? Because they can do that, can't they?
No, but that's why a payment provider comes in, because a payment provider accepts the crypto and then immediately transfers it into dollars and transfers the dollars to Gucci.
Ah, there we go then.
So that's where the service comes into play. So that's why I was wondering which service they use or will use, but it doesn't say at the moment. But overall cool move. I think Starbucks is doing it as well, and so we'll see that more often, man. Like those payment providers, they remove all the crypto hassle from and all the associated risk, or associated benefits, but they remove it from the equation and makes taxes easier for those companies. So all good, everybody happy.
Cool. And then the third one is, now I've got a rough idea of what you're going to say here, but Forgotten Runes NFT collection is turning into a cartoon. But hold on, before thumbs up or thumbs down, we'll show you the trailer so you can decide for yourselves, for all our watchers out there.
It is not the wizards who forgot the runes. It's the rest of the world.
This is the world with magic in it.
Come on, you effing degenerates! Get up and dance!
From Callisto's Citadel to Kobold's Crossroad to Hugh Master Pass. Through chaos and calamity, through uncertainty and fear, through hunger, poverty, and plague. A cult of 10,000 wizards has been summoned, and they are putting their mark on the world. They're putting their rune on the door.
I'm 12 again.
Sick.
Thumbs up or thumbs down?
Good thumbs up. I love it, man. This is childhood, reliving childhood with NFTs. Awesome. I envy the younger generation right now.
So cartoons or art imitating NFTs and not life. Interesting stuff. Right, so got loads of thumbs up there, I think. Now, the first thing I want to talk to you both about was what's happening at Axie Infinity at the moment. They recently announced land staking, and it sent the prices all over the place. But I want to give you a quick recap of what's happened in 2022 for Sky Mavis and Axie Infinity and sort of the background for this recent announcement of land staking. So the big news, obviously, this year for Ronan, for Sky Mavis, was the Ronan bridge hack where they lost $600 million. We've spoken about that on the show already. People will have already read about it, but obviously that's an awful lot. That's not just an unfortunate occurrence. That's a potentially company-changing event. So they have made moves to try and get that money back, but that was a huge thing. the drop in price of AXS so that's the native token for Axie Infinity, down from $95 at the beginning of January to hovering around $30 now. So that's a huge drop. Axie characters at the start of 2022 were about $30. So the little critters, NFTs that you play with, they were even more last year. But now I saw one last night on the marketplace for $9. So everything for them seems to be going down at the moment. Obviously, that's against a backdrop of a lot of other things in NFT and crypto going down, but they've obviously had a bit of a tough year compared to 2021 for them. So on the 3rd of May, Axie Infinity announced it was introducing land staking. And since then, the price of the land for land in Axie Infinity has gone up massively. The floor price of the Genesis land went from $300,000 to $1.46 million for the base price. If you look on the marketplace, as you're listening to this, they might have gone up by even more. So at the moment, to recoup, I wrote an article about this, to recoup your investment for the cheapest land price, it would take 500 days, which is well over a year, to get your money back from staking and getting your money back in AXS, assuming it stays at $30 per coin. And they're also introducing land gameplay, which is, cutting stone, chopping wood, collecting berries, things like that, where you can sell the goods that you get, and then you can sell it for AXS and then turn that into dollars if you want. So this will offer people more opportunities to play to earn. Bearing all this in mind, and bearing in mind that land gameplay has been promised for 3 years, is this too little too late from Axie Infinity, and have they lost their place at the top for good? Because the land price have gone up through the roof, but the rest of the company looks like it's not doing too well so far this year. So Rob, I'm going to ask you, what does this mean for Axie Infinity? What does this mean for Sky Mavis maybe? And have they lost their place at the top for good?
No, let me first say, no, they did not lose their place at the top for good. Yes, there will be many more competitors with just as interesting or even more interesting gameplay and or financial benefits. So they will not be the only ones at the top anymore. That will definitely change. That being said, like land staking, they revealed land gameplay a month ago, and they didn't say anything about land staking. They just said, listen, gameplay will come somewhere by the end of the summer, Q3, maybe even Q4. Until that time, hold on. And people holding land were angry because they bought land in 2019 during a land sale with the promise of gameplay in 2020. Never came. 2021.
Were there reasons for the delays? Did they ever give any reasons, Sky Mavis?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did, but it's all it's ultimately developing a game is more difficult than it seems, and then adding financial benefits into it makes things even more complex, especially because the moment you mess up, like it destroys lives. So it is a very sensitive topic. But so the land staking in this case, and that's my opinion, it's a band-aid. It's a band-aid for landowners to at least get some benefit until they can actually play on their land and earn from it. So this land staking is also not infinite. Like it will end as soon as gameplay goes live. Sky Mavis wants people to be active to earn. So there will be no passive income in the Axie Infinity ecosystem. We've already seen that with their battle system. Like they don't reward people playing low-level adventure quests anymore. Like you need to play PvP in order to earn. So that is in line with their whole philosophy that you need to be active to.
So they're going more towards a system of, as you say, active users, not just people playing a simple game for ages and just building up loads of the secret love potion stuff.
No. It needs to be challenging, and the reward needs to be rewarding. That's their.
And people need to be properly engaged.
Yeah. Engagement, participation. That's at the core. But eventually, like land staking or staking as itself, it's a very basic, simple way of generating income, and ultimately, it's not something that will last forever. You can't keep rewarding people for lots of money for staking. I mean, now you say $1.4 million for a Genesis piece of land. It takes 500 days to recoup. I will stake 500 days if it makes me $1.4 million. So of course I need that $1.4 million to buy land first, but so you can't do that infinitely. Like it ends. Like there's no way that's maintainable.
Yeah, I wrote an article about this yesterday. I know that they've put aside $10 million a month for staking rewards, but as you say, they can't do that indefinitely, can they? So you think this has got a shelf life on it, this staking?
That's like we now say we can't do that. Ultimately, I should not be so vocal about it, because ultimately it needs to become something that's possible. Because if you want to have a good play to earn or play and earn or play to own economy, you need to have this circular economy of rewarding people and keeping spending in your ecosystem.
Yeah.
And people follow me on Twitter. I liked and retweeted something about power creep. Somebody from the Axie Infinity wrote about it. Axie Infinity community wrote about it, and it's the way. Let's say World of Warcraft or an MMO. You play a game, and every 6 months or year there's an expansion with more challenging bosses, new levels to conquer, new weapons that are even stronger to obtain. So it requires activity to stay on top, to keep earning, and the moment you stop playing, the value of your holdings slowly drops. And I think that's a crucial element of a good play to earn economy. And of course, so people need to keep spending to keep earning.
Yeah, and keep engaging to keep earning. Because
and
otherwise you just got this hollowed out economy where people just spend their money and make more money, but for no real reason. And people don't want to play games or be involved in an ecosystem that it's just completely bossed by money.
They probably do for a short space of time, but no longevity in a system like that.
Yeah, I kind of feel that's what the issue that metaverse lands are having at the moment is that they got massive last year, like Decentraland and the Sandbox. They got really popular. Those are companies came in and bought up loads of land. Land prices shot up, but normal people couldn't live there. Well, I say live there. People couldn't populate it anymore. So they kind of became these sort of ghost towns to an extent. So I think those worlds are now trying to work out how to get normal people back in, so they've got real content for everyone to engage with.
Like the Sandbox isn't live, so keep that in mind. They've only had an alpha twice with limited access. So it is all pretty limited right now. And it's for that speculation, but Decentraland can be a ghost town at times.
Yeah, sometimes.
It kind of reminds me of the story I was read about. I read the other day, and then Ian, you and I have spoken about mainstream media outlets sort of saying that the NFT world is flatlining. Now, we both disagree that it's flatlining, because when you see that some things are going for $1.46 million for a bit of land, it doesn't suggest death.
No, it doesn't, does it? And I think it's important to reference that the story we're talking about really is the Wall Street Journal article that came out, I think it was yesterday or the day before. And it also, another point is that it uses nonfungible.com data. And I'm not saying anything bad about nonfungible.com, but each site, for example, DappRadar, Nansen, nonfungible, we track NFTs. For example, at DappRadar, we're tracking NFTs across 13 blockchains. Nonfungible are not. And also, when I looked yesterday, nonfungible were not tracking the other deeds, Otherside NFT land sale. So they're missing quite a lot of data there. So, but what the headline said was, that NFTs are flatlining or dead. And then I think there's been another article this morning saying down 90% is dead. But in April, NFTs generated 6.3 billion in trading volume, which is over $1 billion more than in March. Like you say, Otherside land sale, 300 million. Success of Moonbirds, I think that was $500 million. And then the kind of craziest one for me is the 4-digit ENS names. blowing up into this 10K club and now selling for 3,000-4,000. You know, so I don't.
It doesn't sound dead.
No, using words like flatlining and dead definitely gets you clicks on your articles, so that's cool. Like people do that, but in reality, I think that buyers are getting smarter, projects are thinning out, proper like it's making way for genuine prospects to come through, and the strongest brands are leading. Like they definitely, and they're showing a willingness to work with regulators, seeking complete legal clarity. Like with the other deeds land sale, they did the KYC. Everyone's crying about it, but actually, they're all going to have to go in this direction. So they just, rather than trying to retrofit it, they did it from the beginning. For me, that shows an NFT space which is maturing, not flat.
Yeah, no, I agree. Now you mentioned the other side there. I think it would be remiss of us to not talk about the other side.
Yeah.
After what's happened in the last week. So, Rob, take us through the other side and the gas fee troubles that got everyone talking.
Yeah, so last week, the Otherside land sale took place. Bored Ape owners got some lands. Mutant Ape owners got some lands. And 55,000 were sold through a mint. Now, they had this whole KYC system in place with the promise of, this will be better and there will be no gas wars. Now, gas wars all over the place. Like records were broken. 5 ETH gas prices weren't even out of the ordinary. Crazy that people mint for those prices, by the way. But that's another story. It caused it made the whole launch very very troublesome, and it created lots and lots of noise about those thanks to those gas fees.
Just quickly, just to butt in there quick. I want to know about the people who weren't buying Otherside land but still paid the gas fees.
I thought about that, Charlie.
What if you were buying an NFT for like $150 and you had to pay? Surely you wouldn't pay, or maybe you just didn't know.
You shouldn't have done it. You shouldn't have done it. So if you did, you're a bit stupid, and that's your fault, I guess. But I thought about that this morning as well. Like, what if you were just trying to do a simple token swap on that day, knew nothing about Otherside? You'd be,
and you're like, why is it costing me $5,000?
That's kind of, I would say that's customer. If someone pressed accept on that, then
they deserve to lose their money.
Cool, man.
Sorry,
that's up to you. That's your.
I interrupted.
This morning or last night, the Yuga Labs announced that they refunded people for the failed transactions.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, $5 million in refunds. $5 million.
There was
they made quite a lot.
14,000 failed transactions. Is crazy. The highest, I think you said, Rob, the highest cost was 5.3, but that was for a few transactions. That's $16,000 for a transaction. The most lost in a single was 3.76 ETH, like $11,000. So yeah, like you say, today they've pinged out $5 million to those people. Crazy. 3.6
ETH. That's funny because that's right now. That's the floor price of a piece of land. 3.66 ETH is a floor price, and so far, how much trading volume do you think they have?
600 million.
Yeah, 646.
Yeah. I read that this morning.
They've doubled up basically on what their original sale raked in around. What was that? 330 million. 660 in trading volume.
Again,
secondary.
NFT,
so 300.
NFTs are not flatlining.
No, exactly. So there's 300 million in the pocket of Yuga Labs, plus 10. I think they have 10% royalty right now on lands. So plus another 64 million on secondary sales.
It's cool, man. Like it's
not bad.
not bad at all, right? But Rob, like, am I wrong in thinking that other than that video, nobody knows anything about this? That they've just bought.
There's a little bit more story to it. Like there's a little bit more to be told around those lands. So if you look at those images, if you look at the NFT, the biggest sale so far happened this morning. 333.33 ETH. That's 2.6 million. So that's the biggest NFT sale so far, and that buyer spent a total of $2.6 million on 3 pieces of land. Now, what determines the value of those lands, right? So there's two things. There is the resources on the particular lands. There are three things actually: the type of land, the resources on the land, and the serial number, or what is it, the token number. Because the lower the token number, the closer the parcel is in the center of the world.
Right. Okay.
And there's a pretty cool map for people to check out. So here you see the center is the orange dot, and for example, this person owns what presumably is a seaside parcel, but obviously we don't know how we will walk through the world. Like that's something nobody knows. So on those lands, there are different types of lands, and on those lands you can find resources. So it can be like something silly, like a bucket of slime or a certain plant. And the most wanted resources or attribute is called a coda. And if you know the mascot emblem of Otherside, it's like a little bit like an alien type rabbit. Yeah. Like it's a round face with like flappy ears, something like that. And that's called a coda, and that's supposed to be like the citizen of the Otherside who brought the Bored Apes to their world. So if you remember that trailer,
he's driving.
He was hanging on to this flying creature. That flying creature is a coda. So he's like the mascot, and those codas are the favorites, and they are also pretty rare, and presumably therefore those lands are extra valuable.
Okay.
So overall, like land in the Otherside has become pretty expensive. However, this week, and I will keep this very short, but I'm very excited. You guys know about Metakey?
Mm-hmm.
Roughly.
Okay, it's an NFT project that ambitions to connect gaming project and become like the one resource people need to interact with various dApps. So they announced their own virtual world, and it's called New Ganymede. It's a little bit of a difficult name, but it looks sick. Like I wasn't expecting to see something that already looks so playable. Like they showed a gameplay trailer, and I was impressed. So if you want to get into that New Ganymede, they don't do a land sale yet. It's not announced. They will introduce a token later, but there's no land sale yet. But if you want to get into New Ganymede, you can buy a Metakey, which now has a floor of 0.2 ETH, or a Meta Crew character with a floor of 0.1 ETH. So, like virtual worlds, like Otherside is a virtual world. The Sandbox is a virtual world. All those worlds will attract their own communities and perhaps some overlap left and right. Now, what I like about New Ganymede is if you have a Meta Crew character, you can walk around in New Ganymede with your character, but without doing anything, you can use the same NFT character to walk around in Decentraland, and use the same NFT character to walk around in the Sandbox. Yes, they will look slightly different because of the graphics of each of those worlds.
Yeah.
But you use one NFT only. Native integration.
Have they kind of like set partnerships up then with all these different?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's super cool, isn't it? Because they don't replicate the NFT, so they're not like increasing the supply of the NFTs because the single NFT is
and all the value is stored in that single NFT.
Yeah.
Like what happened before, like a year ago, like somebody would say, you're part of my community, you get a Bored Ape, and they would drop an ape character as a separate NFT. Yeah, then the original one loses its value.
Yeah.
And in this case, like a value stays inside. And I think this is also what World Wide Web is doing. And this is true interoperability, like using one NFT, one identity to go into multiple worlds. And what's extra cool about this New Ganymede thing is that they will have quests, and those quests are inside New Ganymede, but also make you go into Decentraland and make you go into the Sandbox. Because they bought They own a huge piece of land in the sandbox.
Okay, so they got a place there, and then they open up for you to go into.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool. So the metaverse is finally coming here.
Yeah.
Right. So from Yuga Labs refund to Crypto.com's flip-flop.
Flip-flop.
The FinTech Wars, as I'm calling it. Ian, talk us through what you've been reading about and writing about this week with Crypto.com.
Yeah. So to set the scene, Crypto.com is a centralized exchange fundamentally. It has a couple of million users and it's become very popular. So what happened this week, they slashed their rates on card cashback. So they offer a debit card and they slashed their rates on that. And in order to get that debit card, you have to stake a certain amount of their token, which is Crow. And the first thing they did was remove all staking rewards. So fundamentally what they did was make an extremely pretty good service, one that was very beneficial to users, overnight became far less useful. The Crypto.com community went nuts. A lot of people have signed up for this over the last 6 to 8 months. It's probably mostly those guys that feel the real pain here. So, they all took to the internet, made their feelings heard. Now, as a result of this, a couple of things happened. So Crypto.com have flip-flopped on what they did. Take a look. So you get one of these crypto cards, and you could get 2% cash back, 2, 3, 5, and 8. And plus, because you'd staked Crow to get that card, you were receiving 10% staking rewards. So the new deal was that they reduced the staking rewards right down from 2 to 0.5 on the lowest level card. And they also put, like barriers on it. So it's only up to $100 you can get cash back on, which
limits. Yeah.
Let's be honest, is a waste of time. And I'm a user and I don't know if I will be for much longer because it has reduced my benefit massively, basically. So, yeah. So as a result, the CEO came out and kind of flip-flopped on it and said, okay, cool. We are going to reduce cashback on the cards. We're sticking with that. So cashback has been crushed and has gone quite low. But what they brought back was staking. So they brought back staking for Crow. So this all happened and the customers were angry and then some customers were not so angry and blah, blah, blah. But the interesting thing that happened was there's always going to be suitors lining up, right, to take over and kind of take some of that market share off Crypto.com. So all of a sudden, like, we saw that there was all this aggressive advertising popping up on Twitter. And it is literally like, look at the top. Had your reward slash looking for a new crypto card? The date is May the 1st. The Crypto.com announcements came out on April the 30th. Really aggressive, going after market share. And actually, their CEO was on Twitter yesterday and said that cards issued in April, 225% higher than March. And that card spending has increased by 45% in the same month as well. So Plutus kind of popped up from nowhere. And the reason that they're capturing people's attention is because they changed their whole package. They were used to offer 3% 3% on staking. Now they're offering 8%. So they basically just simply went head to head with what Crypto.com used to offer. So they just came in and said, right, guys, you don't need to work with Crypto.com anymore. Come over to Plutus and we'll give you 8%. But what's really, again, even more interesting is, so to get a top level of Otherside and Black Crypto.com card, you have to stake 350,000 euros. I definitely don't have that. I'm sure most people don't. To be a GOAT on the Plutus card, which is greatest of all time, you stake 2,000 Plutus, which yesterday was worth about $20,000. So you can stake $20,000 and you can get 8% cash back on your spending on your card. So a pretty attractive a pretty attractive prospect, basically. So yeah, it was kind of interesting to watch one centralized exchange dip off really fast and then another one almost just pop up out of nowhere. Like literally, I had not heard of Plutus before this. And ironically, the token Plu went up from $5 to $15 on May 1st off the back of a bunch of new signups, a load of new volume, and people buying Plu and and doing that. And one of the really cool things is, so again, people were asking like, well, isn't Plutus just going to be the next Crypto.com? isn't it just going to do the same thing that Crypto.com has just done, get us all in, and then reduce all the rates and kind of screw everybody?
And then you're locked up. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you're locked up. But there's some big differences here between the services. Number one, Plutus has a membership subscription model, which is completely different to CDC. You can just pay a set amount every month, get a debit card, link it to your crypto, and be able to gain 3% cash back. That's pretty sweet for sort of $10, $15 a month. So that's different, and that also creates monthly income for Plutus on a membership system scale, which should give confidence. And then also, when you stake the Plu to get the card benefits, the customer keeps custody of the Plu. So it sits in your wallet, you've got the keys, and you can sell it and you can do what you want with it whenever you want. So the difference here is that, for example, when Crow tanks, you're locked up, and you are locked up for like 60 days or 30 days. You can't make any moves in the market. You can't sell it because because it's going down. And as Robert rightly said earlier, I think, you get into staking, the risks, you're locking up. Crypto goes up and down. If you lock it up, then you're taking a risk, obviously. But with Plutus, it's, you've got your own private key. It's different. So the whole system feels a little bit more kind of crypto friendly, but, jury's still out. It's very early days. This all happened this week. So
just at this stage, I'm going to ask a quick question, Ian. You don't have a sponsorship deal with Plutus, do you?
Find my ref link at the bottom there. No, there's plenty of others. There's Nexo. The thing it boils down to as well for a lot of users is how long does it take to do KYC and how long does it take to get up and running? Plutus, a couple of my friends did it, took like 2 days. Nexo can take quite a long time. There's big differentiators here for people to think about. But moreover, I just think it's really interesting because people are jumping into these sort of debit cards with cashback. They will advance crypto as a mechanism for payments. I think anything in this direction is cool by me. I just kind of like the controversy here of Crypto.com and a new card popping up, and we'll see what happens. And there's also cries about insider trading as well on Crow, like people on Reddit openly stating that they think, people sat around a table before these announcements are made and are benefiting here. So all sorts.
But there's no rules or regulations against insider trading at the moment, are there? So people can actually do what they want technically, even if it's immoral.
Yeah, they'd be holding up all their documents with a very big magnifying glass. In crypto, it's not like that. So those guys over at Crypto.com are not being inspected of what they did, So yeah, it's all very possible.
So basically, at the moment, whilst everyone's trying to sort of become the market winner and grab their slice of market share, the deals that you can find in DeFi are incredible if you do your research and you're willing to put a bit of money in. There's so many good deals out there at the moment, aren't there?
There is, and the cashback in crypto idea, I actually think is very cool because one day, you spend $100, you get $3 back as cashback. And one day that's worth $3, but if the token goes up, it could be worth $6. And you can sell it on the day it's worth $6 and make the most of your rewards. Obviously, it goes the other way where you might have to wait. But I just think it's very cool. It's easy money, basically, Charlie. I guess is what I'm saying. And people should investigate these things, in my opinion. But
it won't surprise you, by the way, that Plutus had its best volume day ever on the 1st of May. But do you know how long that token has been around?
Years.
Yeah, January 2008, like December 2017, it launched.
Yep.
Like literally at the end of the bull market, they peaked at $32.
That's why.
So they've been building this for almost 4 years.
Yeah.
Probably even before that, before the token launched. And now, they were just waiting for Crypto.com
that opportunity,
or YREX or one of those card distributors to fumble, and boom, they jumped on it.
And Plutus was head to head with Monza at that time, and Monza was Crypto.com in 2017. Crypto.com just Monaco, sorry, not Monza, Monaco. So it morphed slightly, but yeah, you're right, man. It's been around a long time, and then it's so convenient though that tweet for me, it just makes me think that there's a whole room of people just waiting for that moment, and then they've got all the marketing materials ready, which is, it can't be true, but maybe it is. It's so interesting to watch, and now we'll see more and more and more. Personally, I believe that eventually all these rates will come down and all the rewards.
Yeah, they can't stay up forever, can they? It's like what Rob was saying about staking. It's like they can't just keep giving away free money forever.
Keep hopping from place to place, then it's a lot of effort to hop from account to account. People are chasing yields. That's fine. Go for it. But eventually we'll all be in the same bag, I think. So, yeah, interesting stuff. And it'll keep going on. So, yeah.
Yeah, the one that I got involved in was the crypto do a thing where you can stake a stable coin for a certain amount of time, and then you get money back based on that. But I think they've even taken those rates down now.
Yeah,
from 10 to 6%, haven't they?
Yeah, stable coins. I mean, let's talk about stable coins, because a lot of this is to do with stable coin usage, right? So a lot of people don't know what stable coins are. They are cryptocurrencies, and they are pegged to what they call more stable assets. I'm laughing because I'm a bit weird like that. And a stable coin is only as stable as its underlying asset. And in this case, we're talking about US dollars, British pounds, for example. And they are stable, but we don't know for how long. So a stable coin is a cryptocurrency that's pegged to a fiat currency to maintain some stable value. And the reason for that is that it can be used then in much wider cases. Obviously, you can actually use it for a POS system. You can transact in shops with merchants. It gives it a wider, and it removes that volatility so that for traders, they can trade in and out of a stable currency while making their moves in the market, basically. So that's the basics of a stable coin. I don't know if you guys want to add to that, to the basics of it.
Rob?
No, not really.
No,
it's basically a digital dollar or a digital euro or pound.
Well, a dollar on the blockchain, that means you can move it around quite easily around the world. It kind of gives people who want a bit of sort of, in countries where you don't necessarily have monetary security, or if you've got high inflation, you can keep those in your wallet, and you can kind of cash around to cash whenever you want.
Yeah, for example, like I live in Turkey. Turkish lira hasn't been doing too great over the past 5 years.
Forever.
With the past 12 months in particular. So keeping your money in USDC is or USDT is in that case very, very useful. I have to say, banks here in my country have the easy option within your app to switch your local currency to dollars. Of course, you pay a transaction fee for that, like you always do, but it's like a standard in-app thing. So
everybody's doing it, right? So
yes. So what does it, from me being acting like a noob, like why would I have a stable coin on the blockchain? Like what would be my benefit?
Okay. Depends what the context of it is. So if you're a newbie, one thing you can do is staking, which is where Charlie started with this, right? So you can, for example, so say you've got £10,000 savings, and those savings are in the bank. I think the global interest rate on savings is 0.05%. So you're going to make like 50p. How much is it?
I was going to use expletive there, but basically, fuck all.
Yeah, nothing. Yeah, basically nothing. So you put your 10 grand in the bank, and after a year, you get a letter that says, "Whoa, you've got nothing," or 50p or whatever it is. So the other option is to change your fiat money, your US dollars, your pounds, your yen, whatever it is, turn that into USDC, and take it to an exchange such as the ones we're talking about, like crypto.com or Plutus and others. They usually offer staking on cryptocurrencies. Now, the percentage on a stable coin is about 6%. It can go as high as 10%. So let's say, for example, and crypto whales, they can live on the passive income created from 10%. $500,000, 10%, that's 50 grand in a year. Take your taxes away, you still got 40 grand. That's quite a high monthly passive income. So stablecoins are big with whales. If you go and look in the top 100 Ethereum whale wallets, you'll find massive stablecoin plays. Because again, like I said earlier, it is kind of easy money. The exchanges are looking for liquidity, and they'll take stablecoins. So that's one thing you could do. I guess another thing you could do, Rob, is for you. You're in a country, like you said, it's a great example. People are living and working globally. They don't, work in one country and get paid in that currency. You can take your wages in USDC, and you can be living in a country like, I don't know, Bolivia or Argentina or anywhere in the world where the cost of living is quite low, and you're earning dollars. And then you take your USDC, cash it out, and use it. Because people always ask, I can't spend USDC. No, you can't. You will have to exchange it into a fiat currency in order to use it.
You can at Gucci.
Yeah. If you want to get some Gucci,
you're shopping at Gucci.
Yeah, that's a good point. But yeah, so there's multiple things you can do with them. But I think the main point about stablecoins is, number one, it helps dispel the myth of massive turbulence in the crypto markets, which I think is important. And number two, it's a way for newbies, like you say, Rob, to get in and put a bit of a chunk of money away in savings, and earn a decent interest rate on that, not some pittance. So I think good entry points for crypto there, in my opinion.
Nice. All right. I think we'll leave the DeFi chat there because there's a lot of information to take on board, but some good tips. And I'm actually going to look even more into stablecoins now after this call. But I have a couple of user questions that I want to put to you both and see what you think. So we have a question here from Stephen. And what interesting projects are out there at the moment? Rob. Very, very, very broad question.
Yes. Very, very broad. Well, Stephen, we've been talking now for 45 minutes. We covered various interesting topics. Now, truth be told, it really depends on what makes your engine run. Like, do you like hardcore blockchain technology? Do you like games? Do you like financial services? Do you like monkey pictures? It really depends. There are so many interesting projects. Just to bridging technology. Yes, there's lots of issues with it, but it's interesting. So what do you want, Stephen? Do you look for investment advice? Because that's something we don't do. However, if you look for something that's that's getting an audience, we would advise you to. We of DappRadar would advise you to check out DappRadar, go to the rankings, and find out what are the dApps with the biggest growth in the past few weeks.
Which new dApps are on there?
Which new dApps are on the market, and see how they perform. I would advise you to make for example, make a short list. Okay, right now you think these are interesting, then come back again a few days later, check again on those dApps. And keep doing it. See if you consider something to be a positive trend. If it turns out to be a positive trend, maybe try out the dApp yourself.
Good answer to a broad question. And we've actually got one more from someone who goes by the name of BCF. Is there going to be single asset staking for Radar, which is DappRadar's native token?
Are you going to answer it, Ian, or do you want me to?
Go on, Ian. You answer it. Okay. Ian's nodding, but for anyone who's listening.
Okay. Yes, there is. Robert, you take it.
Yeah.
The short answer is yes.
Single asset staking for Radar, yes, it will come. Will it be on chain? I guess you mean, will the staking happen with smart contracts? Yes, it will. It will happen through the DappRadar.com website. So keep your eyes open, and I don't want to mention the date. So let's say soon.
Yeah, follow us on Twitter and follow the website for news, because we'll put it all there when we know.
When we know the date, you will know, and we can start a retweet party and all that kind of stuff.
Cool. All right, guys, we'll leave it there for today. We've run a long time because there's so many interesting things to talk about, and you've given some really good answers and some really good things to talk about there for everyone else. So I'm going to say now goodbye from me. Ian, goodbye from you. And
Charlie, do you also want to say goodbye for me?
I do. I was going to say, and goodbye from Robert.
Goodbye from Charlie.
And goodbye from me.
See you next week.
See you later, everyone.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you.